gentlemen, Mr. Tom Williams.
Thank you, man.
You were saying some of that footage of you as a kid when you were like 14, you were smoking 2.5 packs a day?
Yeah, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, but 5 years. I still want a cigarette every single day, but I haven't smoked for about 5 years.
They should never let you have that job, should they?
Well, you know what? I mean, there's not one single part that I can say, well, I shouldn't have done that because it's led me to where I'm at right now.
Sure.
And who knows, if I hadn't had that ability or that experience, maybe I wouldn't be where I am, which
well,
I love.
Let's talk about where you are and what you love. GiveMeaning. Tell people sort of the idea behind this.
It's a place for anybody that gives a damn. And, actually not even Google can claim that every single human being on the planet is a potential customer or recipient of its service. And that's what GiveMeaning.com can legitimately say, because we all care about something. It may be the three-toed spotted marmot, of which there are 3 left. It may be something like Amman, HIV in Africa. But whatever it is, how do I do it? And how do I feel like my $5 and the 5 minutes of time that I have can actually make a difference? And that's what GiveMeaning is trying to do, is that by $5 by itself, can't do it. But when you pool your $5 with somebody else's $5, suddenly it becomes 5,000, suddenly it becomes 50,000, and real change can happen.
What's interesting is that we are on paper, not always in practice, but on paper we are living in the culture of giving right now, where you have a former president, Bill Clinton's got a book on giving, but as a president did, sweet FA, right? But writes a book about it now. Everybody has some version of charity. It's as if this is what's on everybody's mind, but putting that into practice is very difficult.
That's right, yeah.
Now, on your website, people can go onto your website and they can present a problem? Yeah. Is that how it works?
That's right, yeah, or a solution. More specifically, that it's it's okay. I just came back from Africa. They don't have a school. They're learning out under a tree. I committed. I want to build them a school. But how do you do that? How do you get the tax receipts issued? How do you ensure that the money actually gets there? We take care of all of the back end, and 100%, no matter what you want to do, so long as it's not buying yourself a new car, 100% of the money that we collect goes to a charity that can actually implement that project.
And it's above and beyond Africa, which one of my favorite things about what you do is it's very much on the ground right here in Canada. The 2 women in Victoria are heroes.
Yeah, these two women, they go out with carts. They call themselves carts. And Friday night, they bring clothing and food to the homeless in Victoria. And they're not trying to change homelessness. They're not trying to solve it. They're just trying to give respect and love to people that are...
Dignity.
Yeah. And so, but because they're volunteers, they had no ability to raise money. They didn't have sophisticated marketing machines, and so their work was in danger. And so they came to our website, and within 10 weeks, not by having some major donor give all of it, but by people that knew their work, that had seen them in the community, gave $5, $10. Somebody emails it on to a couple of friends. Those people give $5, and suddenly they had all the money that they needed for their winter program.
The culture of giving becomes very political, and I wonder if part of the reason there needs to be something like GiveMeaning is because governments on a large scale really don't cut it.
And the government basically says that's in Canada we've actually got one of the best tax incentives to give. It's like, if you can do our job better, then here's the tax motivation to do that.
And so if people go through your website, it's tax deductible?
Yeah. Even for $5.
Man, you go back to when you were a kid walking into the Apple headquarters. I mean, I suspect you projected a much different career for you, a much different life for you.
Yeah and no. I mean, I want to write a book called The BSer's Guide to BS. Because
the bullshitter's guide to bullshit is what
Can we say that?
Say whatever you want.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So because what I had, from 5 years old, it began at selling chocolate bars and, outselling all the other kids in the school. I'm a salesman, and I love to sell. But I found a product, charity, that the only thing that really delivers, what was marketing messages? You'll look better, you'll feel better, you'll get the girl, whatever the case may be. Charity is the actually only thing that delivers on all those promises. We do it to feel good, look good, to devote to our God, to get a tax receipt. It's a self-interested thing. The good news about that is that we're all self-interested people.
But so that's why you can do this, because you're a good salesperson.
Yeah.
But again, I'm sure when you were your own video game company and all that, you had a much different, you're going to be Steve Jobs or something like that.
Yeah, but you know what, I still want to, my GiveMeaning is entirely nonprofit, but I still, a guy told me you're going to be a billionaire by the time you're 40. And I want to still be a billionaire, but I don't want any of that money.
How are you going to be a billionaire?
Because if I've created $1 billion of wealth within the organization, that's just the same. It's my entrepreneurial efforts that's gotten the $1 billion. But I don't need to have that attachment personally to that money. the first $50 that came through this website, you know, previously it was in the tens of millions of dollars that I valued these things, and I was more proud of that first $50 than any of the millions of dollars that had come before that.
Where'd the first 50 go?
It went actually to, we have these things at Christmas, GiveMeaning cards, where I can give one to you, and then you get to choose where the money went. So it went to a project actually in close to my heart in Victoria. So yeah, you know, it's the only thing that you know, I'm also an ADD kind of guy. So I'm constantly thinking about different ideas. But charity is that one thing that spans, you know, there's literally a cause for everything. So it's the one idea that really can engage me 100%.
You know, it's an interesting thing because of its, I mean, essentially it's a Facebook or a MySpace. It's an enormous, giant social networking opportunity. Mm-hmm. But it's one that's more than just, hey, somebody's updated their status today.
Yeah, and you know, like there was these guys from Victoria that went down and built soccer fields in Ecuador, and every single day they were live blogging and putting up YouTube clips and everything else, and it attracted about a quarter of the entire website's traffic for the day that they had a new update because they wanted good news. Like, go look at CBC, look at, you know, CTV, any of the media outlets. It's all bad news. So we need a dose of good energy, and that's what GiveMeaning is.
How can you take this and apply it to the next project? You said you have, you know, you have the ADD. You always want to work on the next project. Does the next project have to be tied to this, or like, because you're a guy that for a long time, you're a bright guy. You have a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happened at Apple in the pre-internet world that you're a part of.
Yeah.
Do you have other things that are coming?
Yeah, constantly. I mean, I was just talking with your producer about this, but you know, the thing for me is that there's just so much more to build and do here that, yeah, sure, I might probably get, you know, dabble here, dabble there, but there's still a lot more room to, you know, again, I want this to be a billion-dollar enterprise.
It's good to see you, man.
Nice to see you, man.
Thanks for coming in, everybody.
Thanks very much.
All right, you got to check it out. It's called GiveMeaning.com. That's the website. You know, perhaps, Tom, you should talk to Ellen DeGeneres, because Ellen is having some trouble these days, okay? Plus, Israel and Barbara Streisand are going to be collaborating on something very interesting. We'll get into all that and this.